Welcome back to the Claustrophobia playthrough of Mission 1 called The Survivors. We have 3 survivors left. Of course, one is dead over here in the tentacle room. We have a Blade for Hire, we have a Brute, and we have the Redeemer himself way over here. And we have number 9 exit sitting right here. Now let's go over the initiative phase for the humans. We'll roll some dice and see what options they have. Okay, here we are at the player board. Now last turn, the Redeemer used his one and only Blessing ability on the Blade for Hire and healed number 2 row of his character card. So he has actually a 2 and a 6 available, and the Condemned Brute only has 1 damage, and the Redeemer now has 2 damage on the 4 and 6 space. So let's roll 3 dice and see what options the human players have this time. That's a 2, 3, and a 4. All right, give me a moment to think about that. We'll come back and assign the dice. Okay, the die have been assigned. Now, I didn't give the Redeemer the 2 this time because the Blade for Hire's options are very limited. He either has to have a 2 or a 6, or he won't be able to function this turn. So I gave him the 2 that we had, which means he'll have 1 movement, 2 combat, and 4 defense. The Brute, I gave the dice 4, which gives him 1 movement, 2 combat, 5 defense. And the Redeemer here, actually, I gave a 3. He has 2 movement, 1 combat, and 3 defense. Of course, he can't use either of his abilities this turn. So let's head over to the board and see what the human players are going to do. Again, they're trying to escape the underground labyrinth. They're getting close to finding the exit, but they're getting beaten up pretty badly, and the troglodytes just seem to keep coming. Okay, here we are on the board. We have the Redeemer with a hole and 2 troglodytes. I'm going to have him go first. He has 1 combat, so we're going to let him roll against the troglodytes. The troglodytes have defense of 3. Oh no. The Redeemer misses. Now that's very unfortunate, because he cannot move, and he had 2 movement this time, and I really wanted to get him out of here, and he's not going to be able to move. That's very sad. Okay, because he cannot move because there are more troglodytes than there are human characters, so the blocking ability comes into play, and he cannot move out of there. All right, let me just readjust the camera here, and we'll get to our other 2 condemned heroes. All right, so here we are. We have the Blade for Hire with the blunderbuss. We have the Brute. Blade for Hire is going to use his blunderbuss. He has 2 combat, plus 1 for the blunderbuss is 3 dice. So we'll roll 3 dice, and we'll see if he can blast these 2 troglodytes that are right here. And he has 5 hits, so no problem. That blunderbuss is just working wonders. Takes out the 2 troglodytes, no problem at all. He has 1 movement, and of course the movement he's going to use will be right here. That's the 9. So the next tile after this one is going to be the exit. And this is bad news. And it has a little symbol here, which is a narrow passageway, which means only 1 warrior from each side can fit on it. And the demons, of course, get to orient it. So how are they going to orient it? Well, of course, they're going to orient it this way, which leads it into a dead end. So the Blade for Hire runs in here, hoping beyond hope that he could find the exit. What he finds instead is a dead end. However, we now know, because the dice now is going to be number 10, and it has to be up here, that the exit has been found. And the exit tile must, because of the 10 having to go here, which is the nearest tile, be right here. So this is the exit. That is where the human players are trying to get to. Way up here. They've got to get up here. And I don't know if they can do it. All right. The Brute now gets to move. And his movement is 1. So I don't really like splitting them all up, but doesn't seem to be a whole lot of options happening right now. So the Brute makes his way towards the exit. And that's too bad that the Redeemer couldn't move, because he's kind of stuck there now and things could get really ugly. Okay, that is the Brute's move. He has no one to attack. The Redeemer has gone. The Blade for Hire with the Blunderbuss has gone. It's now time to go over to the demon board, roll some dice, and see what horrors they're going to unleash. Oh, and one thing, demons and troglodytes cannot appear on the exit tile at all. So they cannot come in that way, which I suppose is a slight good thing for us. Okay, let me go to the player board for the demons, and we'll roll up some dice. Okay, so here we are on the demon board. I'll just take the dice off from last time. Now the demons get to roll 3 dice. So we will go ahead and roll the 3 dice and see what they get. They get a 4, a 1, and a 6. All right. You think about that for a minute. I'll come back, assign the dice, and continue. Okay, so I've assigned the dice for the demon. I'm going to use a total here using the 6 and 1 of 7 for a taste for blood. And that means that troglodytes and demons can appear in that the humans cannot block them. So basically what I'm going to do is, of course, have more troglodytes appear with the human redeemer. We'll try and knock him out. And I'm putting 1 here on Sounds from the Deep. And that's going to give me 2 threat tokens, which will allow me to bring in 2 troglodytes. Okay, we'll go back to the board, and I will bring in some troglodytes, and we'll do some battles and see if we can knock down the humans even further. All right, here we are, up near the top of the board. Now, I'm going to spend 1 threat and bring in 1 troglodyte here. Now, the reason being is you cannot have more than 3 in any one space. So there are now 3 troglodytes. I cannot bring another troglodyte in anywhere else, I don't believe, because there's nowhere else for them to come in for. So I'm just going to leave the 1 threat on the demon board. However, it is the time for a suicide attack. So play this card when a troglodyte is attacking. He gains +2 combat dice. So I'm going to spend that card for the demon player, which means one of these troglodytes is going to have 3 attacks. We'll say this one right here. It's a leaping attack at the Redeemer. The Redeemer's defense, unfortunately, is only a 3. So here's 3 attacks. Oh, wow. 3 hits. That's pretty critical. The Redeemer already has 2 damage. That puts 3 more on him. He only has 1 left. We'll just go ahead and do the other 2 troglodytes. And if they get 1, 3 or higher, the Redeemer is going down. That's a 6. The Redeemer has just been killed. Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately, that is the end of the Redeemer. However, there is still a Brute and a Blade for Hire alive. They may be able to get both of them out to that exit tunnel before the demon player can stop both of them. So, very tense. And okay, that's going to be the end of turn 6. Join me next time for turn 7, and we'll see if the Brute and the Blade for Hire can get out of here, winning the game, or whether the demons can actually take them both out, or at least take one of them out and make the game a draw. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.